Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Corey, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. Today's a little bit different because I'm all coffeeed up. I don't really drink coffee that often because I like to drink it on the weekend. So when I'm trying to stay awake, when I should be sleeping, I can drink that and then it's potent. But today I've got a few things that I need to do, so I just needed to be hyped up. So this I don't know where this episode is gonna go because I might just start speaking really, really fast. So I'm gonna try and contain myself. But there's one important thing I need to point out in terms of attraction because I've realized that I talk about the attraction, I talk about being playful, and I haven't given specifics because I don't want you guys to be boiling down to this is what I need to say. A lot of it is about finding your voice or finding your method inside that attraction, even into seduction. It's because I don't I don't want you guys to think that what I do is what you should be doing in terms of that. You have to be finding your own thing. And the reason why is because my wife is completely different to all of your wives. Completely different. She's just a totally different person. So stuff that I would say to her and do would be different to what you could do with your wife. So in terms of that, it becomes important for you to find your own thing. Now I can sort of give you a guideline, and that's one of the things I was going to be talking about. There's a few things that are universal, and one of them is what we call cold reading. Now some of you guys might have seen this. You know those guys that are sort of psychics or something. They do this pretty well, but it's something that can be taught. So it's something that I'm going to be thinking about teaching you guys. I'm going to give you an overview right now, and then sort of go into detail within our community because obviously it's going to be a whole series of things that I'm going to need to be teaching you in order how to do this effectively. So we're going to do an entire attraction course into the community and how to do what to do stuff like code reading in terms of body language and using your eyes and so on. So go into further detail with that because again it's going to be really important to see the visuals of what I'm doing and also videos that I've found online that I've now sort of archived so you can see. Okay, I show you exactly what the guy is doing, and then I do commentary of that, and then you see, like, okay, that's that bit over there. That's when you're actually doing the most attractive thing, and so it's going to be really cool when I do that. When I'm archiving videos as we go along right now, as I watch movies and stuff, I'm like, okay, that's the bit, and then I try and find that bit and doing all of that. So, but for today, we're gonna cover a little bit about code reading and why code reading is really important when it comes to interactions where you're sort of trying to put attraction spikes within that interaction. You have to lead with first of all, you have to feel good about yourself. You have to be coming from a place of really you're not trying to have sex pretty much, which is so counterintuitive because you're thinking, well, I'm now doing this attraction thing, this is the end goal in mind. The moment you put an end goal in mind, it actually works against you because now all of a sudden there's this weird pressure there's a weird transfer of pressure onto her, and then all of a sudden she doesn't want to do anything. So really it has to be in the moment in the game. So now think about it: you're on the Super Bowl, and you're the quarterback, and if you call a play, and before you actually find your wide receiver. Now this is because I use American sports because most of our listeners are American, so they might understand this more. But for you guys that are from other countries, what happens is that when American football, there's a guy who throws the ball. That guy's called a quarterback, and when he's looking to throw the ball, he's looking for these guys that are running on the sides, or at least they've got a play where they look for this guy who's really running really fast. And what they do is that when they throw it to them, they're really throwing in hopes that they get what they call a touchdown, which is a goal. So really, when if the quarterback is really worried about what he's doing and if he's going to get sacked, which is when a guy of the opposition comes and smashes into him, if he's worried about that and he's worried about whether he's going to score, if he's worried whether he's going to get the wide receiver, if his mentality is going through those emotions and thoughts, is most likely to get sacked or most likely to false throw or whatever they call it. Yeah, I don't know. But he would do a false throw and then he wouldn't get to the wide receiver because his mind is, he has to be in the zone and he has to be playing moment by moment and really not have any emotional investment, complete ice cold killer type vibes. Like, I'm just going to be executing this throw without any hesitation, without, any other thoughts coming to it. I got the ball, I'm throwing to the wide receiver, and we're going to execute the play. And that is how ice cold you have to be within any attraction point of view. So you have to be completely, I mean, this moment. And really, the best way of looking at it is more of, am I amusing myself? And that's the sort of mindset that you have to be doing. And that mindset is going to serve you more than anything. So when I tease my wife, for example, I'm not teasing her because I want some sort of reaction from her. I'm teasing her because I find it hilarious. For me, it's hilarious for me. I find it absolutely hilarious. So, and she will do the same way. She finds herself hilarious, and I'm getting annoyed. And that's the bit where you're building attraction out of that. And the important part about it is that you do it, you you shouldn't care what emotional response comes from it. So whether she gets annoyed, whether she gets excited, none of that is not a good indicator of what's going on. The good indicator is, am I having fucking fun? Am I enjoying this interaction? Because when you enjoy it, what happens is that it transfers onto her and then she starts enjoying it too. Most people go in there with, I'm going to try and make her enjoy it. And this is the worst thing that you can do. If you think of about in comedian going and doing a stand up and they want people to laugh, they usually bomb. Like, if you're desperate for people to laugh, you're definitely gonna bomb. You have to find the jokes funny. You have to find them hilarious. You have to be cynical. You have to be in a playful mood. You have to be really in that place where you really want to amuse yourself, and then that becomes a little bit more funny. I like to watch a program called Kill Tony, and it's just people that are sort of randomly getting up or they get pulled out of a hat and then they have to come and do some comedy. And generally the guys that do well are the ones that are, you know just funny. They find themselves hilarious and you see them really doing well because, and sometimes the first time are comedians. And then there's guys that are so desperate to make people laugh and look good that it goes against them. So really, when it comes to attraction, I haven't even talked about code reading yet, so I'll always transition to that. When it comes to that, it has to be self amusement. Now, code reading is a method that we used to do, and basically what that is that you always assume rather than ask questions. When you assume, it's it takes away the need of wanting to be right or wrong. It just it puts it into a fun state. So, for example, uh, if I wanted to say something that was of a cold read, for example, I was like, so today, my wife was like, I can see that today must have been a really hard day, but I can see that you've been also productive. So I can see why, this day is one of those days where you just want to chill out, but at the same time, you would like to be productive, but at the same time, you just feel like you just want to get over with the day. Now, everybody feels like this, but she will feel connected because she'll feel like I understand her. Can you see how that? So I've mentioned things that most people go through and emotions that people usually face. So, for example, people face a very hard day. Normally on a Wednesday, it's going to be a freaking hard day. Any day, especially when you got children and have to, it's going to be a hard day. But then at the same time, nobody goes to work and think, I'm lazy. So if you say, yeah, you don't work really hard. Yeah, most people really work hard. So saying stuff like that, it makes them feel like they're being heard. Makes them feel like they're understood, and it was kind of like the dark arts of the game, but it's something that is very powerful from an attraction standpoint. So it's an important thing that you can actually start using within your relationship, as as you when she's having that lull within the day or whatever, you can use something like that to just make you feel like you understand. And it's a good way of saying something like that, and then just pulling her in and just giving a hug and say, you know what, it's all going to be okay. And what that does is just make you feel like, oh wow, this guy really understands what I'm going through, and gets you closer to her, because it becomes more receptive to everything else that you're going to say. It's like a, it's that little transition from, where she's all up in her head to, okay, somebody cares about me, I'm not by myself when doing this. So hopefully that one is going to be a nice one to incorporate within your marriage. And if you want to learn more about this, like I said, we'll be creating a course. Like I'm now creating course after course after course after course on some of these things, and you'll be found within the community. Like I said, if you want access to this, it's gonna be through, go to my thriving underscore tribesman on Instagram, and just type in unleashed, and then I'll know that you want to join the community, and I'll give you the details on joining that. The courses I'm going to be creating will be free, and obviously it's a free bribe, so you can join the community. The community, we've decided that it's going to be a paid community, so that we get people that are serious about doing something about their relationship. Because before I was going to make it free, but I realized that some of the guys that are coming in are just, you know, they just want momentum because they're doing something. But I want people that actually want to do something, and the best way of getting you to do something is for you to put your chips in the game and say, yes, I'm ready to take this seriously. And it's no different to going to the gym and getting stronger. And this is what we're going to be. That's the sort of setting and environment we're trying to create. That it's not just listening to courses. It's not just you be having 2 calls per week, and we'll be able to really give you a game plan so that you can execute for that week. And at the same time, follow-ups to see where you're at. And then if you are sort of pulling back, I'll be there to fucking smack you around the head until you get the fuck up and get things going. So this is why it's very important, and I want this to happen for you guys. Now, most of you guys get so butthurt and weirded out by paying for stuff like this, which is okay. And if you want to listen to just the podcast, that's fine too. So, but for those guys that are really serious about changing the sexless relationship, this is something that's going to be a tool. Before our program, Reignited Men, is a premium program, and we've discovered that not everybody can afford to go there. So this community is now the affordable side for everybody, that so they can really focus on their relationship and still get the result that they need. So thank you very much, guys. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.